Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I recently drove a NASCAR and I want to tell you guys what it's like to drive one. Alright, I recently drove 8 minutes, I don't know if you guys could see it, 8 minutes in a NASCAR. I actually rode 16 minutes because the first time the camera bugged out, so they gave me another drive. But I did 16 minutes technically. So they only gave me one lap certificate, and so this says 97.90 miles per hour is what my top speed I hit. The second one I went faster, I probably hit 100, maybe 110. But it actually didn't feel like I was going that fast. It really didn't. It felt like I was going, I would say like 55, 60, 65 maybe. It didn't feel like I was going almost 100 miles per hour, which is just crazy. Another thing that was crazy to me is how heavy the clutch was when driving. The clutch was very heavy, and so these are 4-speed transmissions, so you gotta shift 4 gears. They put it in first for you, and then you take off at like 2,000 RPMs, and then they make you shift to second, and then to third, and then finally to fourth, and you stay in fourth the entire track, which I was hoping I would get a shift gears, but I do understand why they do it. These cars have a ton of power. You would totally spin out. But I wish I got a shift gears on the track, but they only let you shift gears when like entering the track. So they had you shift at 3,000 RPMs each, which was actually fairly difficult. I barely made it into 4th gear when getting out of the pits. So I got out of the pits. I was racing at Phoenix International Raceway. So this raceway is very small compared to your average raceway. So the straights aren't as big as like say the Daytona 500. I think it's a 1.5 mile track, but it's a big oval. Here's a picture of it on screen. And so they had these like dots on the floor that you have to go put all 4 tires in. So you're basically driving in a line, which is very helpful. I found it very helpful to follow the lines. So you have a presentation before you go and race. And in the presentation, they just tell you everything about the car, what you'll be driving, and then like speed wise, and they just kind of tell you all the rules and stuff out there. But what a couple things they said was that it would be very claustrophobic, like you'd be strapped in, you'd have a tight helmet on. So that got me nervous, and I actually wasn't nervous prior to that, and then I got nervous because I'm very claustrophobic. When I got in the car and got strapped in and my helmet on and everything, it actually was fine. It wasn't claustrophobic at all. I felt very roomy. But the seating position in the NASCAR is way further back. Like I thought you'd be up and in it and like racing around pretty close to the steering wheel, but you're actually like pretty far back when you're riding in one. Sorry the footage on the camera wasn't that good. I think they had stabilization on and it was trying to stabilize while moving a ton, so it's a little wavy. So if you get motion sick, I'm sorry. But it was a ton of fun. I had a ton of fun going out there. I had a ton of fun racing. All the pedals were really heavy when you were driving, so the gas was pretty heavy. You had to like slowly go onto the gas or else you'd spin out. And then you also have the brake. The brake was very heavy, and you actually didn't use the brakes a single time until you get to the pits. You would go around, and then after your 8 minutes, you would go on the inside of the track, and then you would go into the pits. They would have you touch the brake, make sure the brake's working, and then you would shift to neutral, and then you would pull in. So they had a whole system, and it was very good. One thing I disliked about it is so the first time around, I got a guy that was very responsive. He was telling me what I needed to do. He was very clear with his instructions. But the second time around, which is the time you're seeing, the guy was very unclear with his directions. I couldn't tell if a car was trying to pass me. Like, he was very hard to hear. I said it like 3 or 4 times, like, what was that? Repeat that? But I didn't know what he was saying. One time I thought he said checkered flag, which means you're pitting on the next, but I wasn't. He was like, no checker flag. I didn't say that. He was very hard to hear. But I did like the communication thing. It was right on the steering wheel, so you didn't have to like reach over to a radio or anything. It was right on the steering wheel, very nice and easy. The car is very responsive, but so one thing about the steering is it's always left. Like so you're doing a full thing, you're always going left. And you could tell the car is meant to go left. The car was made to go left because the steering wheel would already be turned, and it was way easier to turn left than it was to turn right. But in the second run, the one you're watching, the steering wheel was like upside down. It was hard to like hit the chat button to talk to my guy. But in this footage, I look like I'm gonna poop myself. I don't know why. The entire time I was like, I think I was just scared or something. I have no clue. But I do look pretty scared in the footage, but don't let my looks deceive you. It was a ton of fun and I absolutely enjoyed it. No complaints, other than the second time around, the guy was just a little unclear. One thing I noticed was the shifts were pretty long, so I think a short throw shifter would help them in the NASCARs. It could be a weight saving thing or something, but that's the only thing is I wish I would have got to shift gears, but it was a ton of fun. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.